guys, Cake Chicken here. I decided to do another drawing video. We're going to be doing another Among Us drawing video. Just this time I'm going to be just taking the characters and just making my own drawing. So what I have is I actually have it printed out. This is not in color. I made just a rough sketch of it. And how this is it's purple. And purple's doing the wiring up against the wall. And, you know, he's in the little hat. And then red is right here. Has the little pumpkin, because I wanted to have a little bit of Halloween in it. And he's the imposter. So he's going to try and kill purple while purple's doing wires. And then lime is over here. And these little lines right here, this is actually him, like, sweating, because he's terrified. And this is the emergency button, because he basically is waiting just to make sure that red is really the imposter. So he wants to real quickly call the emergency meeting and get red out, but he's panicking because, I mean, red's the imposter. And he may get voted out if he says immediately that it's red. So we're going to be drawing that. That was just a rough sketch of it, just so I could demonstrate what I wanted. But, yeah. Let's go ahead and start drawing. Cake Chicken is back. So, I begin drawing purple. Start with the hat. And I tried drawing how the hat actually looks in the game, but it's kind of like an awkward shape, and I didn't really like it. So I just decided to erase all that and redo the hat just as just a curved line and then straight down. So I erase it, curve it, and then draw it down, and then draw the rest of where the part where you put it on your head. I start drawing his head, bring it down to his legs, and then make where his legs are. So make left leg, right leg. There's an awkward space between the two, so I erase the right leg, and then I draw it again. It's very small. So draw it one more time. That's quite good. And then I finish by curving it up, and then, so I curve it like part way up, and then I do the rest of the head, and then I leave space for the goggles, and make the goggles, then the backpack. Then sadly you can't really see. I didn't know. I noticed it right there. This is the like electrical box where you can do the wires. So I make the little box. And then after that, I wanted to make the little exclamation point, like the little warning sign. It looks a lot better on the image that I just quickly drew on my iPad. So it took me a few tries to get that. Eventually, I just start going to the wires. I make all four of the wires, which is red, blue, pink, and yellow. Then I go back to that, and I'm quite happy with it. Then I just make the wall. It's kind of just showing you, oh, this is not just a random thing that purple's messing with. This is the wall. Then it's time for red. So I start by making the top of his head, leading down to around where his goggles are. Makes goggles, they're really small, so I decide to just make a little bit of an indent out. Then I start making his knife. I'm not the best at drawing knives, as you can see. YouTube, don't get mad at me. It's fake. It's not real. Don't get mad at me, please, for drawing a knife. So after that, draw that, and then it's time for the legs, and I realized the knife's a little too big. Fix that. And then I start drawing the legs. Make the, I think that's the left leg, and then that's the right leg. And then curve it up. Make almost like the egg dog shape when I'm making these little guys. And then I draw out the little backpack. And then I decide purple's backpack is way too small, so it needs to be a little bit bigger. And then I also stretch out his goggles a little bit more. Then it's time for the pumpkin. I originally, like the hat, was going to do it how it actually is in the game. But then I liked it a lot more on how I made just like an actual jack-o'-lantern itself without like the teeth at the bottom. on the original one, so I kind of just made it just jack-o'-lantern is facing us, not purple. So there it is. And then next it's time for Lime, which I started making, but he's a little bit farther back, like he's in the distance. So I drew him a little bit more up. So working on the legs, then I make the egg dog. So I start going up, and then I keep going up, make the beautiful egg dog, then make the goggle, then the backpack, and then I make this little like sweat coming off him. Then it's time for the emergency button. Final thing I have to draw, to go ahead and make a little square box or like a rectangle, and then the emergency button on top. Then I just show it off in full screen. Then that is the company of alcohol marker that I use. It's BIANYO, Biano, I don't know how to pronounce it. And they make really good alcohol markers. So I start coloring red. Not really much to say here, I'm just coloring in red. So working on his backpack. And then the rest of his egg dog. I'm going to call it the egg dog from now on. Everything except for their goggles and their backpack and like their hat and stuff is just egg dog. And then I do it a little bit more because down there is not really as dark as the rest of it. Must have colored in very lightly, so I just go over that. I decided to add a tiny little bit of red on the knife. And then I move on to the wire, just draw the red one. Move on to lime. So I start coloring in lime. Once again, it's a bit of a dark green, but it dries pretty fine, and also the camera can also change some of the colors to make them darker. So that's why it looks quite so dark. Color in his egg dog shape, and then I start working on purple. Prismacolor Premier is the marker that I used. I'm pretty sure these are not alcohol markers, but they're still really good markers that if you want them, you can check them out. I work on the egg dog part of him, which you don't know what egg dog is. You should look it up. It's like a meme. It's like an egg-shaped dog. Okay, so next I make the caution sign on the lights. Then I do the blue wire, then the yellow wire, then the pink wire. Then, sadly, I didn't realize that I need to move the tripod more. So you can't see me coloring in the actual stand for the button and the button, but I did it, I promise. Then, once again, can't see it, but then I color in his pumpkin using the orange. And then right after that, it is time for me to do the knife handle. So I draw in the knife handle, and then I do the goggles using the same light gray that I used for the last Among Us drawing. Just one by one, coloring in. After that, I start working on Purple's witch hat. Just color it in with just a solid black. Right after I color in the witch hat, I go ahead and just color in the wall. Kind of regret doing this because the wall is really long. It goes below all the characters standing, but it's fine. Next, I use a Micron pen, which is really good. You check them out. I used the size 08. That's because that one's a little bit bigger. And that's also the same one that I used for the couch in the last drawing. So I go ahead and I color in basically everything using this, other than like the wires and the triangle warning sign, because those are a little bit smaller. I don't even use anything on the wires just because it's so small. Use 02 on the exclamation point, and then go into the knife, then Red's goggles and his legs, then the rest of his body, then the pumpkin, little pumpkin top green thing, and then his backpack. I do Green's body, and then his legs, and then his backpack, and then I go ahead and do his goggles. I leave his sweat, though I probably should have colored it in with just the 02 size, but it's fine. Go ahead and do the emergency box, and then right after that, we are done with that. I go ahead and add in flooring, but I erase that quickly after because I really don't like it. I do the underneath purple and red, and then I do slightly higher where lime is, and then it's just showing it off because now it's done. I actually went in and erased the flooring because I really didn't like it, and then so I really enjoyed making this one. It was a lot easier to make than the last one, just because it's just 3 little guys and then wiring, knife, emergency button. But I hope you enjoyed. If you want me to make another art video, let me know. And if you have any ideas on what I should draw next, also let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next video. Bye!